In this latest article, How to Access and Utilize the Bobber 500 Local Dashboards. How to access the local dashboard. If you have a Bobber 500, to access the local dashboard for the Bobber 500, you will need to go to the same local network that your Bobber 500 is on. There are two ways to access this. It is important to note this article also applies to FreedomFi 5G hotspots, with the only difference being the URL. For FreedomFi units, you will need to use freedomfi-gateway.local rather than bobber-gateway.local. The gateway will also show up in your router's connected devices as freedomfi-gateway rather than bobber-gateway. We note this because in the Bobber app and on the Bobber web app, you will see all of your connected devices to your account, whether they be FreedomFi or Bobcat gateways. But you can only access your local gateways based on the type of devices that they are. If they are Bobcat, then you will need to go to bobber-gateway.local. If they are FreedomFi, you will need to go to freedomfi-gateway.local. Alternatively, you can look up your local IP address for the Bobber 500. To find your Bobcat 500 local IP address, you may have to go to your router's dashboard. Each router and internet provider have different ways of accessing your IP addresses of connected devices. If you're not sure, you may need to Google or ask your internet provider how to access connected devices on your network. If you find your connected device, you'll be able to find the IP address of your Bobber 500 gateway. Most likely, you'll be able to use the bobber-gateway.local to access the gateway. Once you're able to access your miner dashboard and radio dashboard, you'll see there's quite a bit of information here for you to learn. Because Bobcat uses the same miner and radio dashboard as FreedomFi, you will see very little difference in the setup of these dashboards. They will be basically identical. At the top of the dashboard page, you'll see the miner dashboard tab and the radio dashboard tab. To the right of that, you'll see the help desk and support logs of your miner. Below that, you'll see a series of status boxes and various fields. ETH-0 config2 explains the status of the Bobber 500 WAN ETH port, not the ENB port. Should always be up. Next, internet access should be okay, meaning it's online. Access to API service should be okay as well. Access to dashboard service should be okay. Access to provisioning service should be okay as well. And lastly, you'll see your serial number of your device. The next section will show you validator status. This should show connected. Block age will show you the age of the last block of the blockchain as reported by the connected validator. If this is out of date, there might be an issue with the connection to the validator. Should always be under 500 milliseconds. Next, you'll see your miner name, the miner version, and the AWG version. Below all of the status blocks, you'll see reset cloud connection, reboot, update gateway, and restart miner. You should not need to use any of these buttons unless you're having significant issues. Reset cloud connection will reset the Bobber 500 connection to the Magma orchestrator, which is responsible for the configuration of the gateway and radio and pulling logging information from them. Only use this button if directed by Bobcat support. Reboot. The reboot button reboots the Bobber 500 gateway, but not attached radios. Use this button if the gateway is having basic issues. Update gateway. The Update Gateway button manually requests the latest gateway firmware. Use this button if your gateway firmware is out of date. Reset miner. Restarts only the Helium mining software. Does not reboot the gateway or Magma services. Use this button if your Helium miner is having basic issues. If you switch tabs to the radio dashboard, you will see there is more information about your radios attached. In this section, you'll see the radios attached to your gateway. On this dashboard page, you'll also see GPS status, spectrum status, core status, and on-air status. The GPS status should be locked. The spectrum status should be success. The core status should be connected. And on-air should be on. Radio version information. In this section, you'll see device serial, SW version, number of connected devices, and HW version, or hardware version. Device serial will tell you the serial of your radio. SW version will tell you the software/firmware version of the radio. Number of connected devices will show you the number of radios you have connected to your gateway. And hardware revision will show you the hardware revision of the radio. In other words, what version of the band/type radio. This will not change due to updates. We hope this article will give you a comprehensive understanding of how to access your local miner and radio dashboards.